Hey y'all, grab your water. Let's start chit-chatting. We about to get real raw and vulnerable for this right here. Y'all ready? I don't think y'all ready. Let's go. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you are returning, I love y'all so freaking much. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody watching this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. Also comment, get in tune. Follow me on all my other socials, which you can find in the description box below as well. And let's stay connected. I love following people back and engaging with others' content as well. So let's just get into it. All right, y'all. It is September 7th, Saturday, and it's 9:32. And this video is basically because I did a poll on my Instagram about what I should record for our nightly chit chat vlogs. And this one topic I kept getting a whole lot that I just want to go ahead and address and get into and just get it out, which is because I have spoken on my Instagram about my childhood. My voice is already cracking, but that is most definitely what we are getting into today, just to go ahead and get it out the way. So I have been very vocal on me having mommy issues and daddy issues. I know both of my parents. Do we speak? Me and my mother most definitely don't speak, and it's because of her. I reach out, I do everything I can as a child, and it just becomes to the point where it's like I don't have any more in me to try to resolve an issue alone, and that's just where that is. Me and my father's relationship isn't the best, but we do speak here and there, maybe once or twice a week, and it's gotten better. We don't hang up the phone on each other. I don't get cussed out. I don't, so it has gotten a whole lot better there. But I mainly speak on how having parent issues affect me on a day-to-day. I'm a wife. I'm 25. I'm a mother of 3. And I have had such a hard time maneuvering through life as a young adult, as a spouse, as a parent, as a friend, as a sister, as a family member. It has been very, very difficult for me because the moment I feel disrespected, neglect, lied to, all of the above, I isolate myself. And when I say isolate myself, I mean you will barely hear from me and never see me. That's just how I feel, because I've had times where I had a group of friends, especially growing up, but it was most definitely because I was partying. I was a rebellious child. I was sneaking out. I was just doing everything that I knew would hurt my aunt, because she stepped in and started raising me when I was like 8 or 9. Let me rephrase that. Since I was a little girl, I was always pushed off on her every weekend, every chance I could. And when my parents were supposed to split, but my mother decided to stick with my father, even after going through such a traumatic time with other family members and them going to jail because of what they did to me, my sister, and people way before us, my mother still chose my father. So my aunt stepped in, and everybody put me in a category of being a failure, of being just like my sister, having multiple children before graduating and not graduating. And I'm trying not to cry, but not graduating, not becoming or making something of myself. And when I found myself really going into that loophole, I had to have a reality check, because I was even dating someone who had no respect for me, was older than me, My aunt did not hate him, but she knew that what I was doing and why I was with him was not right. It was just a whole lot of things within itself. So it has most definitely been hard to overcome all of that. Even with the group of friends, like I went from being invited to not being invited to looking like we don't want you here. Like, I don't have the 30-inch bust downs. My aunt couldn't afford it. I don't have the ripped jeans. Literally, it was once upon a time I did not have a pair of ripped jeans. And that's when they were just big. And I didn't have them. I'm being honest. Like, I went to the point where she was keeping my nails and my hair done. To now, okay, we got to wear your natural hair. No nails, times are hard. And they just, it went from looking at me like, we're going to take a picture, you want to take this picture, or not being invited. So that became hard for me and kind of hard for me to accept, but I feel like I handled it the best way I could. I never talked bad about them. I just had to learn that maybe who I'm trying to become and what I'm trying to accomplish doesn't align with them anymore. I got with my husband, who was at the time my boyfriend, and we were inseparable. And they would say things like, well, we kind of figured you was going to be with him, so we just didn't invite you. Or we knew you was going to say no, so we didn't invite you. And when I got pregnant, it was really like the end of it. It was most definitely no invites, no anything. Except for one of the girls, and I want to say her name so bad, but I would not expose her on this app. But if I were to call her, she would be there. She was in my wedding. If I needed anything, we don't talk every day. We talk here and there on social media, and that's okay. At one point in time, we were inseparable. She was my best friend in middle school, high school. And I remember, like, that girl knows all of my darkest secrets. Like, when I say darkest secrets, I mean, she was there when I was being rebellious. She was there when I was with the guy I shouldn't have been dating. She was there when I was sneaking out. She was there when I was talking to all of these different guys. Like, she knows everything. And even though we started not to talk or talk every day, people like her are hard to find. I would really consider her still a friend because it has not been any bad blood, like no bad blood. We didn't talk every day, and when I picked up the phone, I was like, hey, I'm getting married. Will you be my bridesmaid? Yes, no question asked. She was even the only person in my bridal party that brought a gift. So kudos to her, shout out to her. And I've never heard anyone say, well, she said this about you. People like that are really hard to come by. And when I say she has seen all of my darkest things, that is one person. And I'm just so glad that I'm not the girl I used to be. Like, I'm so glad. I applaud myself for not being, listen to that loud air conditioner. But I applaud myself for actually not being the girl I used to be. But having mommy issues and daddy issues makes it so hard. Especially because, like, I've always gotten along better with males. And I'm not talking about dating wise either. I'm talking about, like, just locked in. Like, okay, I had a male best friend for the longest until I got married. So that's what I'm saying. It could be so hard for me, and honestly, it was just because of communication. Like, he was somebody that I spoke to every freaking day, and it made my husband uncomfortable. So it was like boundaries. Like, I feel like you talk to him more than me, which was not the case. It was just y'all talk every freaking day. Actually, I stopped that before we even got married. When I started dating my husband, let me correct that. I had to nip that in the bud. But I just have always gotten along better with males. And I feel like it's because of my daddy issues. Just wanting to have a closeness with guys because they come off as cool, as, you know, women in friendships, they can be very hard. They can have a lot of jealousy, envious. Women can be spiteful. They can just be a whole lot of things. Oh, shoot. They can just be a whole lot of things, and it was just to the point where I was just better having male friends. But that's no longer the case. It's played a big part in my parenthood. I don't play about my kids. I don't play about my kids. The discouraging words, the disrespect. I respect my kids, even though they are kids, because I know what it feels like. They will not feel neglected. I'm their safe space. If no one else is, I am their safe space. I am the person who brought them into this world, who carried them for 10 months, who nurtured them to where they are today. And I take pride in that because I was once told by my father, I don't care if you like with 20 men and have 10 kids. Instead of talking to me like a father, like being there for me, because honestly everything I was doing was for attention that I did not get until I started being rebellious. It's played a huge part in my marriage because marriage is hard. Marriage is a job, and just like you go to work almost 7 days a week, marriage, you work for it 7 days. And before I got married so young that I was basically trying to just marry somebody that was the opposite of my father. And once you've been with somebody for almost a decade, it makes things difficult because you start to accept certain things and just not overall looking at the bigger picture before even saying, okay, is this actually what I want in a male, and my partner, and my spouse, and the person I'm supposed to do life with, which makes it so hard. But I don't feel like people talk about it enough. It's so many kids, even now, especially in today's time, that don't get the attention that they need from their parents, that are most definitely in broken homes. It's just a lot. Having mommy and daddy issues is something that I feel like you'll never get over. And for me to not have either one, and to see what they're due for my other siblings, like I can't pick up the phone and say, hey, can you help with my children? It's always, no, I'm helping such and such. No, I'm about to give such and such this amount of money. So I am who I am because I feel like it made me be so independent. It made me be so, I'm gonna get it on my own. It made me be like, it's this wall that's just like I can't let down. I refuse to let it down because I have let it down and it was a slap in my face. But I feel like a lot of people don't talk about how to get over that. I have still yet not figured it out. I haven't. Because once I feel that disrespect, that disconnect, that isolation period for me, it's intense. You won't hear from me. You might text me, I might not text back. You most definitely won't see me. It's most definitely hard. And I know it's so many people out there that deal with it just like I do. Just try to make the best of it. And I can't tell you what to do with it, how to try to figure it out, but you are not alone. And it's all a part of a healing journey, I feel like, that we just have to go through. And you can't put a time frame on it. It's literally taking day by day, step by step, trying to just become the best version of you for yourself. because I can't be the best spouse or the best parent if I'm not the best version of me. So I lack that as well. But so many people wanted to know more about why I isolate myself. And I'm trying to do better. I want to do better. And if anybody has any tips or what you think will maybe work, drop the comments below. Like, I feel like I need it. And it could be very much needed for other people to see, because in today's time we are living in a world where everything seems so, everybody is now speaking up on how hard life is, inflation, all of this, but so many people still have this illusion of everything's fine, I'm perfectly fine, I got my luxury apartment, I have this, yeah. Once you take those material things out of it, a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are going through so much that you may never know. Check on your strong friends, because they could be going through so much that they might be almost at their breaking point. But yeah, so a lot of mommy issues, a lot of daddy issues. And before I close this out, because I'm not going to string this along, I do love my parents. They brought me into this world, and I can't thank them enough for that. But being an adult in 2024, not having that is hard, because you don't know or don't have anyone to seek help from. I don't have my parents to talk to about my parenting, my problems in my marriage, what I go through as an individual. So I also want to make it clear that if you have that, please be appreciative, because I would give a lot to have that relationship with my parents. As bad as I want to say I don't care to have it, if I'm being honest with myself, I would do so much to have that relationship with them. It's just not there. So be thankful, be grateful, and even if it's not the best relationship, pray about it and just try to continue to grow and just become better. So yeah, this was a good chat. I feel like it was a good chat. And thank y'all for watching again. Don't forget to tune back in next week, or maybe in a couple of days. Just go ahead and turn on your notification button, because I will be dropping these videos a lot, just chit chat vlogs, because we are still growing. We're still trying to get to 500 or 1,000 subscribers. It has not been easy. I do understand why they say YouTube is the hardest platform to grow on, but I'm not stopping. And if you have made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I love y'all, and see y'all in the next video.